हाथ जोड़कर सभी को गुड इवनिंग. So this is not the substitute of what has already been taught by the professor. So don't go and run around that you have got the shortcut. Okay, so who am I? Perhaps a human. So what? I admit I can go wrong. So please give me the feedback if you find anything wrong. Also, for if you get any suggestions for me, then please tell me. Okay, I also admit that I have used the lectures of the professor and the things that are there in the textbook to make this video. What is risk? When we talk about a company, a manager is at the helm of the affairs and he can fall into many risks, ranging from falling prices to change in technology. Also, sometimes the salary of the manager is linked to the performance. Say, it can be fixed to the profit that is being generated by the company. So if there is no profit, you will not get the salary. So there is a solution, and solution lies in the risk management. A good manager may always want to mitigate the risk. So apart from being prudent in decision making and also having an MIS, which you obviously know, he may use derivatives to do hedging. Should managers always hedge? A big no, because it can reduce the chance of growing. Say if you fix prices and prices rise, then you lose out on the profit. Also, hedging may seem lucrative, but managers do not always resort to this. Basically, it depends on the personality a manager has. If he is a risk averse person, he would be interested in hedging. If he is not a risk averse person, then he might not go for hedging. Also, if a firm has long-term investments which are not very profit-making, like R&D, then a firm would hedge aggressively like the pharma companies do. However, if a firm has huge growth opportunities, it might not hedge aggressively. It would want to make more and more profit. Some of the characteristics are hedging is a zero-sum game. So we know that there is an antimatter to all the matters. If one loses in a contract, other would gain and the net sum would be zero. So kahin sukh hai, kahin dukh hai. The other one is the price discovery. First of all, let me tell you what is spot price. Spot price is a price which would be prevalent on the day of transaction in future. So two people in a contract setting a price today, and there would be many such people doing so in the country, then a normal person would get a feeling what the market is thinking about prices that would be prevalent in future. So basically you are depending on others judgment, and sometimes it helps. You can also plan your production and procurement process appropriately, or accordingly I should say. So what are derivatives? It is a rate of change of function with respect to x. A big no. We are not going to take this in this subject. These are the instruments or the product which derives its value out of an underlying asset. We know that Indian government released some sovereign gold bond and whose value was derived from the market value of the gold. If you are having that gold bond and you want to sell it in the market, you would get the price equal to that of the gold on that day prevalent in the market. So there are four types of derivatives: forward, futures, swap and options. There are some terms which you need to know. What is long? It is generally used when one wants to buy. So if Mr. Chimbal wants to buy a commodity or a financial instrument like a stock, loan, he wants to go long. And what is short? If Mr. Benival wants to sell his commodities or any financial instrument, he wants to go short. And there is a cheat code for this thing. You can use S for short and also for sell. What is an exchange? It is just like a BSE, NSE where the stocks trade. There is other kind of exchanges where the commodities can be traded, like NCDEX. What are the counterparties? the two parties who go into the contract. And why do we use the word counter? It is a very key term because they have very different motives to go into the contract. One who wants to go long would want prices to rise in future to make the profit, and who sells would want prices to fall so that he makes a profit. So greed is not good, a big advice. So is there any risk? Yes, it is known as the counterparty's risk. However, as we see, Mr. Simwal went long and prices fell. He may run away from the contract and leave Mr. Beniwal dreaming for profits, which he would have made due to falling prices. So is there any way out? Yes, Mr. Beniwal may go to court because it was a contract and it has legal backing. So Mr. Chimwal may have to pay this thing. And in the video as well, sir has given the example of Coca-Cola company. So what is forward? It means bringing something forward, and that something is the price. Here, the price will be fixed between two counter parties. However, the delivery of the item, it could be commodity or a financial instrument like a stock or bond, would be done later on a predetermined date. Okay, let's go for an example. It is 1st July and Mr. Chimwal has a hope of having a harvest of 10 kg wheat and had a cost of around 15, which has already been incurred to him. So he is afraid that the prices may fall in future, so he better go for the risk management. So he went into a 20 rupees per kg contract with Mr. Beniwal. So contract just fixed the price on 1st July. There would be no transaction as the transaction date is set for 1st November. Okay, wheat is a rabi crop, but these two gentlemen are of Australia. So what happens on 1st November? Whatever happens to prices between these two dates is irrelevant in forward contracting. Whatever matters is the prices that are there on 1st November. So there are three scenarios. If the market price is 20, there would be no loss or gain. If it is greater than 20, Mr. Beniwal is in profit because he would buy at 20 from Mr. Chimwal and sell at new price in the market. If the prices fall below 20, Mr. Chimwal gets the profit because he gets to sell at the price which is higher in the market. Sorry, Mr. Chimwal gets the profit. He gets to sell at the higher price because the market prices are lower and he's selling at 20, so he is getting the profit. So I told you, hedging is a zero-sum game, as we can see in all these three scenarios. One is making the profit and an equal amount of loss is being made by the other. So some extra knowledge. Now the person who is going long has the unlimited profit to gain. There is a chance that he may get the unlimited profit because if he is buying at 20 rupees and the prices reach infinity, he would gain infinity. In short, he'll become Mr. Ambani. However, if prices fall and reach zero, he may well just lose 200 rupees. Things are reversed for the one who is going short. So finally, we have understood what is forward contracting. Thank you, and please forgive me if I heard or made any mistake in speaking or grammatical mistake in this slide. Hope you get good marks.